Hey gang, Django here, Primal Punch here. Just coming at you with a little quick video, just a little mishmash of stuff. I'm really loving the fire hose wraps. A fire hose is made up of 3 layers: an outer layer that's puncture resistant, an inner layer that has very little give, and then the rubber. So this holds the hose is shaped for it, keeping it from getting pinched or whatever, and this keeps it from getting punctured. So the outer lining is uniquely suited for bending steel. I smashed some 60 pennies in it, and it didn't even get poked through on the first layer. So I'm really stoked about that. And then with the lack of deformation on the inner layer, it's really awesome for the steel benders helpers. So I'm really loving that. Thanks again to Ben K over at the Cottonwood Fire Department, man. I'm really loving this. Chalked them up and like that. So I'm really loving the wraps, man. Thank you. Now I've been working on some little variations for more isolation exercises using the steel benders helpers, because I just really like the versatility of this tool. And I know, I invented them, I make them, so of course I'm biased, but I'm not wrong either. So what I've been doing is doing at different places along the range of the bend, okay, is stopping, and from there doing just kind of wrist levers, okay. Now you get especially good movement in your double underhand. So you see how I'm mostly holding everything else static, and this is a wrist lever. And let me see if I've got a little rod or something here, so you can see the amount of movement that this would be on a sledge lever or some such, okay? So we're doing this, and then let's hold it. Some reps, hold it. Couple reps, hold it. So you see that range of movement is fairly significant, even though it looks minuscule in scale on without something to show you the amount of movement. So I'm really digging that. It's really feeling good on the wrists, and like that. Now this is just something I whipped up out of a couple pieces of scrap pipe. The one thing that always annoyed me about the old Taekwondo forearm blaster, where you've got your rope coming down off your piece of PVC or dowel rod or stick. The thing that always bugged me about that was getting the length of rope right, and then you got to stop and come back up. So I've been fiddling around with this, okay, and this really kind of gives a different blast to the forearms, because every time it hits 6 and 12, as seen from the side, your resistance changes, okay, because now we're trying to slow it as it drops. Here we're really working it, so you can make that weight more or less as you want, and then you reverse it and go back the other way. I've been doing this, and man, it is a forearm pump. It'll get you going. So you can do this with something as simple as 2 pieces of threaded pipe from Home Depot, okay? You want them to be long enough so you can move your hand placement as you please, okay? And then you'll get a T, which is 3 female fittings, okay, that your pipes will thread into, and then a shorter, say 4-inch piece to go into the T, alright? So I'm going to say that 15 bucks you should be able to make this just with a quick run to Home Depot, okay? You look over in the plumbing section, I believe, They've got black threaded pipe. Now, make sure that you take one of the plate weights, or whatever weights you're going to be using, okay? Because this is a 3/4 inch inner diameter pipe, and it would not have, it won't fit into my other plate weights. But I was lucky that I had these old weeder plates that have slightly over 1 inch opening. So I was super lucky that I had those, or it'd be like a fine old time just grinding to make that fit the other weights. Alright, so either measure carefully and then measure the pipe that they've got, because they're going to have different thickness pipes, you know, different schedules. So make sure you get one that's appropriate to the weights that you have. Now, you know, I'm sure you could always modify something, and this is just a quick little prototype that I whipped up out of some scrap pipe that I had. I just welded that, slapped some grip tape on it, and I didn't bother making collars. I just used rope, did a nice wrap, tied it, and then hit it with the heat gun and threw some adhesive on it, you know, and to keep it from slipping, so it'll hold the plates in place. If you've got if you're using pipe that fits the collars, you know, for your weight bars, standard collars, then you're all set, man. Use those collars. Now make sure that the piece that you get for your center, for the arm that comes out, isn't so long that it's going to scrape your gut. All right, you're going to want to go, you know, 4 inches if you've got that T, because that T juts out an inch. Just go like 4 inch long or something, you know, enough to fit the weight you're going to use on there, and you know, you'll really feel it. Just don't go too long. I had to nip some off because I was like, hey, having to suck up, man. Every time it's like doing a stomach crunch. But yeah, so that's really cool, man. I'm really loving getting that nice forearm pump that's really, you know, unique to that kind of you know, just where you keep going, that endurance type forearm workout. And my grip tape was out in the sun for a while though, so it's gnarly sticky. Just loving it, man. Try to isolate the forearms there without moving the rest, and then as you start to get tired, you'd be like, ah. So you see, when you start to get tired and you tuck in, it's not so long that it's going to start banging against your gut. And I try to control that going down, but sometimes it'll just kind of go down on its own, man. But, so it takes you longer on this to get an isolation, alright, but you're getting an overall forearm and grip workout that is head and shoulders above the standard go one way and then the other. Man, whoo, yeah. I can't even really flex them right now. It's feeling good. That's all I came, man. I've just been doing just kind of dedicated bending workout with the ball bat bender's helper and the steel bender's helper, and you know, dropping the knee bends into it and everything, just to kind of get that sinew strength and everything. You know, I've been back and forth working on this darn house. It's just been one mishap after the other. Working on the roof when the rain hits and wind blew me right off, man. I bounced. So it's been one mishap after the other, and I just haven't been working out like I used to, you know. And just staying busy and everything. So it's nice to get back to it. Now, when you're using your bat bender's helper, I want you to remember to make a fist of your back, okay? Don't push far forward so that its joint's taking a beating. Alright, I always want you to remember that, okay? So, let your muscles take the beating because they'll heal. Joints get injured, they swell, you know? So, I've really been enjoying that. It's been a lot of rep and hold, because I believe that that balance between movement and then isolation holds, you know, isometric holds at, you know, in isolated muscle groups, really it gives us a kind of strength that you usually only get building pyramids or you know, working on a farm or something like that. So it's just that deep down, bone deep sinew strength, you know. You really feel this along the back and in the obliques. It's really really good stuff, man. Really been loving it. And again, we have our nice little wrist lever. So we're not only doing a hold that is isolating our pectorals, delts, and forearms, and grip, of course, but we are adding this component to it, okay? And again, since I've started using the Steel Benders helpers, I have now added 5/16 of an inch in diameter to my wrists. Alright? I had never before been able to add to my wrists. Went from 7 1/4 to over 7.5 inch. 7.5 inches. Anyway, so I'm really loving that. And these fire hose wraps, man, they are a callus maker. Boy, man, you really feel it. Really feel those suckers. I'm gonna see about being able to carry some of these fire hose wraps, where you can do a kind of add-on and get them, you know, because these suckers really seem to be holding up well, and I figured out a good way to keep them from fraying. So I'm going to be doing some experimentation and seeing what I can come up with for y'all, as they don't add to the diameter compared to the iron mine pads, and I'll be able to get them to you for a lot less. Yeah, feeling good, man. So let's see. I'm curious how these are looking on the inside, because I've put several hundred repetitions on these. Yesterday I was banging these while I was doing the weekly watering out front. Speaking of which, still got more watering to do this weekend. Oh yeah, look at that. Nice. These chew right through the iron mine wraps. Got a little bit of separation of weave here, but I think that has to do with how the threads are forced out at the fraying, and no separation on the inner wraps. So I think it's just a weak spot. Yeah, I'm digging these wraps. Nice and durable. Boom. Alright, gang. I appreciate you coming by and hanging out with me, okay? I won't keep you any longer. You live free, punch hard, bend hard, alright? And work on those forearms, work on that grip. Alright? And thanks, really. Thank you for coming and hanging out with me. It's almost Christmas time, and I just feel blessed to have y'all, my friends. You're my only circle of friends, you know. I don't hang out here. So it's nice to have y'all in those times when you know, the world can be a dark place. You know, you may have a spouse, you know, blood relatives, but there's a a different feeling to having people who we call friends. You know, it's just that ultimate dimension of belonging, and I'm glad that we can do that for each other. So you hold your head up, all right, and always look to tomorrow. If today sucks, if today's good, then look to today. All right, be in the moment. If it's good, if it's bad, look ahead. All right, cherry pick, and always be good to yourselves, because you're worth it, and I dig you. Bye now.